Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. As mentioned, my name is Jesper Broberg. I'm a VP of Sitecore in Middle East and Africa, based in Dubai for the last 5 years, and been with Sitecore for the last 11 years now. I'm going to show my presentation, and there we go. And hopefully you can all see my screen now. As Vinny mentioned, I've been with Sitecore for 11 years. And today I'm going to talk about, how do we drive customer loyalty and deliver personalized experience to create these customers for life that every business that at least I talk to are kind of seeking to establish. I joined Sitecore 11 years ago. Sitecore itself, for those of you who are not familiar with Sitecore, we're a software company. We're originally from Copenhagen, Denmark. We were established about 20 years ago. Actually, this year is our 20th anniversary. And when we started out in the business, we started out in what is today known as CMS, Content Management Systems. We were building solutions for companies to go out and build websites. 20 years ago, when we talked about digital experiences, having a website was kind of the peak of that area. So we though very quickly realized that what companies are looking for is not really just to have a website. It's not just to go out and have a PDF brochure online. Companies were looking to drive business, and a website in itself was not doing that. And so in the mid-2000s, our company, our CEO made a decision that we were going to transform our product from being a CMS product and start talking about how could we deliver better experiences online and in digital channels. And it just so happened that in 2008, the first financial crisis hit, or the last financial crisis hit, and a lot of companies started talking about how do we transform digitally, how do we start a journey and start taking better care of our customers in our digital channels. And it was kind of forced by the fact that during the financial crisis, companies were kind of stress tested financially. They had to come up with better and more innovative ways of doing business. They realized, keeping your existing customer base is hugely important, keeping them happy, delivering the right experiences to them. Upselling, cross-selling to existing customers is easier than acquiring new customers. So it was all about how do we help them during that. And with what I said before, our CEO started transforming our product, and in 2009, we actually released the first version of that product. We called it the Online Marketing Suite, and it was designed to help businesses start doing personalization in their web and digital channels. And we're the first CMS vendor in the market that had those types of capabilities built into our platform. And back then, it was very rudimentary, right? It was very basic. You set up your different rules. If the visitor does this, then show that, right? So it was very basic personalization capabilities that we had. But mind you, this is 12 years ago. And obviously, technology has come a long way since then. Companies, when I joined Sitecore, right after we did this release, we were talking to customers about digital transformation, about how to do personalization, about how to communicate better with customers and create relationships with the customers. And there was a tremendous amount of good intention in the market. What happened very quickly was that due to technology as well, what happened was a lot of people started collecting a lot of data that ended up in a lot of different systems, and we created all these different data silos. And people were kind of stressing out, trying to figure out how can we actually utilize all this data that we're collecting to create these better experiences for our customers. And that was really difficult. And I think now, technology has definitely caught up, and we're able to do a lot of the things that we were striving towards 10, 12 years ago. And then now, digital transformation wake-up call 2.0, COVID happened last year. And, we all know how huge an impact this has had on the way that we do business, the way that we communicate with customers. And again, we're starting these conversations about how do we transform digitally, how do we become better at responding to our customers' needs and wishes in our online and digital channels. So COVID-19, to an extent, has helped us kind of refocus in on this customer experience, the importance of delivering that, which I think, we've been talking about it for a long time, as I said, and some businesses have succeeded in that digital transformation and in delivering on these things. But a lot of organizations are still trying to get out of this, siloed data web that they created for themselves over the years. So now, as we look forward, we're refocusing in on the fact that the customer experience is everything. It's when we look at the studies that are being done out in the market, we know that customers are really focusing on the experience much more so than the product itself, much more so than the price or even the brand connections that they have. It's all about how do the companies communicate with me, how do they understand me as a consumer, how do they value my loyalty, and how do they use that information in a proactive way to create a better experience for me. And 80% of companies out there believe that they are delivering a superb experience for their customers. Customers not agreeing so much. So there's a huge gap in the expectations that the customers have versus what the companies believe that they're actually delivering. And the reality is that when companies are succeeding in doing this, and when they are delivering these superior experiences to their customers, they see a huge jump in revenue from that as well, 5.7% in fact. So from a Sitecore perspective, our purpose and our mission is to help organizations out there in the market to create what we call human connections in a digital world. And again, the word human connection is interesting because if I think back 10, 12 years ago when I joined Sitecore and at the back of this financial crisis, we were very much talking about how do we replicate a physical human interaction that we would have if we walked into a store. Let's say, the store down on the corner that I've been shopping in for the last 10 years, they obviously know me, they know the products that I like, they know when I'm usually coming in to buy specific types of products, etc. They know me. And when I walk in the door, I'm greeted by my name, etc. That was the type of experience that we were striving to deliver to the customers. We wanted it to be not a digital experience, but it felt like a human experience, albeit in a digital channel. And that's still what we're working towards. How do we create that personalized human interaction in digital channels? So in a Sitecore approach, we are a digital experience platform today, DXP. Having grown from being that CMS system 20 years ago, we added the capabilities into our portfolio to deliver personalized experiences. And one of the things that we wanted to do with this experience platform is, obviously, know your customer, know that person walking into this, digital store, deliver the right types of engagement, show the personalized content, and understand where they are in their journey. Are they a first-time buyer? Is there a return customer? Is it somebody who's just kind of browsing and trying to find the right type of product that they're looking for? Where are they in their decision process so that we can best help them at that specific stage of the journey? Now, One thing that a lot of the executives that we're talking to realize as well is that, in fact, 75% of executives say that content is a strategic key to growing customer lifetime value. Content is fundamental, right? Personalization, delivering that personalized human connection, relies on different content, personalized content for different people. That could be images, it could be the words that we use, it could be the products that we show to people, depending on who they are. It all requires different pieces of content. But there's again a gap, because most leaders in marketing say that prioritizing and publishing personalized content is a priority. 97% say that it has to be done quickly, it has to be done cost effective in order for this to succeed. And so these are the challenges that we see. We see that content production is falling far behind. We can't keep up with the fact that we need to deliver this personalized experiences. The marketing teams are not reusing content fast enough, so they're recreating content for different channels. They're recreating content in different markets. We have customers who are operating in hundreds of markets, and when we start centralizing the way that they maintain content, we see huge increase in efficiencies, because they can reuse and repurpose content not only across channels but across different geographies and markets, etc. So we need to find a way to manage this content lifecycle and optimize the way that we create and manage content. And this is where in Sitecore, in our product portfolio today, we focus on what we call the Content Hub. This is our content management back end that allows us to, in a centralized location, create, manage, and deliver content through various different channels. When we start planning for a marketing activities, this could be a promotion, it could be a campaign that we're running, we need to create the content assets that needs to be used for that. So we have a marketing resource management module built into the Content Hub. We have a CMP, which is content marketing platform, that allows us to do the kind of the workflows that are needed in order to create the content, with the back and forth and annotations and revisions of content before it's ready for publishing. And then we have a digital asset management, which is where we kind of store the final content pieces that then needs to be distributed out into the different channels. And the different channels is where the Sitecore Experience Platform comes in, because what we do is we can then take these content pieces and we can deliver them in what we today know as a headless environment, meaning that we can push the content not just to a website, but to mobile channels, it could be augmented reality, virtual reality. It could be into any kind of touch point and screen that you can think of. And not only pushing the content out, but we're also collecting data about how the consumers are interacting with that content, which we can then feed back into our customer data platform. And I'll get back into that in a second. So Experience Platform is about the whole content delivery out into the channels. And when we combine these two things, we have the content creation in the Content Hub. We have the Experience Platform, which kind of orchestrates and delivers these into web, mobile, email, etc. And then at the end of that, what we really would like to see is adding the ability to do transactions. Right? So in Sitecore, we have Sitecore Experience Commerce. And again, it's not seen as a separate product. It's not a separate technology. This is an integrated e-commerce platform into the Sitecore product, which allows customers to use this customer insights that we're collecting in the Experience Platform, the centralized Content Hub for the product information, the product data, to then have a shopping cart, payment gateways, etc., and a storefront, and create that shopping experience that we want to give to our customers. So Sitecore Experience Commerce becomes kind of the endpoint for that is experience, where we have the transaction, and we then move the customer to another piece of the engagement journey, where we then start trying to upsell, cross-sell. We start understanding what other types of products might they be interested in based on their last purchases, etc. Now, obviously, we've also come a long way with regards to how we deliver these experiences. And as I said, 12 years ago in our first version, it was about going in, setting up rules, saying, if you did this, then we're going to show you that. Today, we have artificial intelligence that can help us with a lot of this. So Sitecore AI uses machine learning and algorithms to automatically understand different types of behavior of visitors when they come into our channels, understanding this behavior and also looking at what are they doing and what have they done in the past, and how can we use that data to best show them the next content piece or the next product if we're trying to sell a product to that individual. So this AI engine really helps us understand, how do we deliver the personalized experience, and how do we make sure that we go from a one size fits all to a completely personalized experience with hopefully happy customers at the end. Now, obviously, with any experience like this, what we're doing is that along the way, we're collecting so much information. And to that end, Sitecore announced, I think a couple of weeks ago now, our acquisition of a company called Baxever. Baxever is a customer data platform, and it really fits into our overall strategy of being able to create content, understand customers, not just about what they're doing in digital channels, but also using data that we have from back-end operational systems, that could be ERP, CRM systems, etc., and use that data in real time to drive better experiences to the customers. And just to give you a couple of examples of some of the customers that we're doing this with, we're currently working with Subway, which I'm sure many are familiar with, and it's actually one of the largest restaurant chains in the world, with more than 44,000 restaurants across 100 countries. So we work with Subway to improve customer loyalty and digitizing their experience. And what they saw was that, they increased their digital loyalty program by 10x. They saw a doubling of their digital orders into Subway, which is, with the size of Subway, that is a massive. And obviously, with the conversion rates going up and seeing the uplift due to personalization, they saw a tremendous output and ROI on this project. Another client that we're working with is General Mills, and they're kind of the brand behind a lot of the brands that we go to the supermarket and buy. One of them, which I'm familiar with, is Haagen-Dazs, the ice creams. They're owned by General Mills. And one of the things I mentioned before with the content creation is that they were creating content and doing it in silos across different brands, across different geographies. And so with Sitecore, what we did was that we actually centralized more than 650,000 product assets into a single repository that could be reused and repurposed across their brands, resulting in $1.8 million in savings and just $35,000 in reduced admin alone. So again, tremendous ROI on centralizing the content as well. It's not just global clients. This is just to show some of the customers across the GCC where we're powering the digital experiences as well. We're currently in the last 5 years that we've been in the region, we're now working with more than 120 customers across the region. So we do have quite a lot of local references as well across any kind of industry and geography that you can think of within MEA.